Amendment number 250 by Senator Erickson. The Secretary will read.
On page 2, line 33, after communities, insert
Last
professional
line.
development, America.
Senator Erickson. Senator Short.
Thank you, Mr. President. Given the challenges that the good senator is having, I withdraw this amendment.
We can't withdraw an amendment that hasn't been adopted, so, but for failure to move adoption. Hearing no objections, so ordered. Amendment 251 by Senator Erickson. Secretary will read.
On page 2, line 33, after
Last
communities, curriculum may not include critical race theory.
Senator Erickson. Hearing no objection, the amendment will be withdrawn. So ordered. Senator Padden, my apologies. I did not see your name prior to.
Yes, thank you. In light of the technological problems that Senator Erickson's had, I will move amendment number 251 on his behalf.
Hearing no objection, Senator Padden has moved adoption of Amendment 251. Remarks? Senator Padden.
Thank you, Mr. President. I hadn't planned on doing this, but due to the circumstances, I think it is important that we deal with this issue. And there's been a lot of work, Mr. President, done by the Discovery Institute and Mr. Christopher Rufo on critical race theory. He has a recent post on February 24th dealing with how critical race theory has worked in the Buffalo school districts. And there is some unfortunate pedagogy going on there. And they have taught, for example, that all white people play a part in perpetuating systematic racism. Now, there's other materials that he covers in that post that I call people's attention to. And I am presuming that this legislation could work without having to teach critical race theory. And unfortunately, the situation with Buffalo is that the academic part of teaching has suffered greatly. I'm not saying there's a direct correlation, but that has happened. So anyway, I would urge support of the amendment.
Senator Randall.
Thank you, Mr. President. While I appreciate the concerns of my good colleague, Senator Padden, I think that this amendment is overly prescriptive for the kind of curriculum that institutions may be using. We're supporting the requests of faculty and staff and administrators and students to be empowered to provide education, and we've been very careful in ensuring that the language is broad enough to allow them to use whatever curriculum that is most effective for their campuses. So due to the overly prescriptive nature of this amendment, I urge rejection.
Senator Fortunato.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't think that it's really overly prescriptive to simply say this is something that we don't really want in part of this curriculum. It's a very simple amendment. It's a very simple program that has proven to be a lot more controversial than it would look on its face. So I urge your support for this amendment.
If there are no further remarks, the question before the Senate is adoption of amendment number 251 by Senator Erickson. The President is about to open the vote. The vote is now open. Please vote. The noes appear to have it. The noes have it. The amendment is not adopted. Further amendments, number 252 by Senator Erickson. The Secretary will read.
On page 2, line
Last
33,
line.
after color or creed.
Senator Erickson. Senator Fortunato. Senator Fortunato. Did you
Yes,
seek?
can you hear me? I move amendment 252.
Senator Fortunato has moved adoption of amendment number 252. Remarks, Senator Fortunato.
You know, one of the things as we talk about this, as you spoke in your opening monologue, Mr. President, about this is really a sensitive issue. I strongly believe that discrimination in any form is a poison in our society, has no place. Educated people, people that consider themselves civil, should not be engaged in discrimination. If somebody is denied an opportunity for their livelihood, their job, their education, that's something that we as a society should not tolerate. Well, this amendment reinforces that. It basically says that the curriculum may not in any way disparage a person or another race based on color or creed. So it reinforces what this bill is supposed to do. So I urge your support.
Senator Randall.
Thank you, Mr. President. Of course, nothing in the curriculum would disparage a person of another race, color, or creed, or any identity. As Senator Fortunato mentioned, this work is entirely designed to do the opposite. Now, we may not always agree with what disparage means, but I can agree that this work of the underlying bill is designed to ensure that our campuses are culturally safer and that folks who are educating or learning on our campuses or serving in important staff or administrative roles are better prepared to have the tough conversations with each other, to work through the challenges that we face. I don't think that this amendment quite hits the mark, and so we'll encourage rejection today.
Senator Padden, state your point of inquiry.
A point of personal privilege, Mr. President.
State your point of personal privilege.
Thank you, Mr. President. In having participated in this last debate, something became very apparent to me, and I want to thank, Mr. President, the work of Ledge Tech, our leaders in both caucuses for their work in trying to handle a virtual session. But, Mr. President, the 160,000 residents of the 42nd District were disenfranchised during this debate due to technical problems and the inability of the good Senator, Senator Doug Erickson, from being able to participate in the debate. Earlier in the session, the good lady from the 27th District, Senator Darnillo, was unable to participate. And also today, we ended up with a thumbs up rather than a verbal vote by our friend Senator Sam Hunt from the 22nd District. In addition to all that, virtually, I wouldn't say every talk, but maybe every third talk, there is at least a slight audio interruption. And that's even happened sometimes, Mr. President, when you were speaking. Now, I thank Ledge Tech and all the work they've done. But I really believe, Mr. President, the time has come. Our caseload is cratering downward. The vaccination rate is going up. Other states are being open 100%.
Senator Padden, the President has allowed you considerable latitude here for what is not, in the president's opinion, a point of personal privilege. Your point, nonetheless, about the challenges and difficulties that beset us through this mechanism of conducting a legislative session are well taken. We will double down, if that were possible, on our efforts to assure that they are absolutely minimized. I do thank you for your remarks, sir.